Good morning, students. Today I will be talking about properties, continuation of it. The last class we talked about three properties. One is linearity. If you recall it, a system is said to be linear if it satisfies superposition principle. Still extended version of the definition if you want to have. A system is said to be linear if it satisfies the superposition principle, which includes additivity as well as homogeneity property. Okay, right? So that is the definition of the linearity, and I have done the examples on the linearity also. And further, I did time invariance also. The property time invariance says that any shift in the input produces corresponding shift in the output. If that condition is satisfied, then the system is said to be time invariant. Otherwise, we call it as time variant or not time invariant. We can call it as not time invariant. We can write it. Or time variant. We can write it. Any of them is fine. Hmm? So now I would causality. Causality also I was talking about. I was not done the problems on the causality. I was talking about the causality. A system is said to be causal if the output at any instant does not depends on future value of the input. I mean to say that does not depends on the future value of the input means what? It may depends on present value, or it may depends on the past value, or it may depends on present and past value, but not on the future value of the input. I'll do a few examples on this one. How to check the present, past, future, and all those things, right? So check for the causality. An example I'll start with. Y of t is equal to 3x of t. If you want to check it, what you should do? Put t is equal to some value 2. Y of 2 is equal to what? Y of 2 is equal to 3 into x of 2. I am trying to find out the output at the instant 2. It depends on the input. X of 2 is nothing but what? Input at the instant 2. Y of 2 is what? Output at the instant 2. Output at the instant 2 is depending upon the input at the instant 2. Hence, it is what? Causal. That's it. Generally, this part, what is that? Causality, it may maximum fetch you half mark to 1 mark. That's all. Check for causality. That's it. Causal or non-causal. And with reasons, you should specify. So, why it is causal? Because output depends on what? Only on present, not on the future, right? Output does not depends on. Output does not depends on. Depends on future value. Future value of input, not other things, right? Okay. Second one. That's it. That will be a half or 1 mark. We'll take one more problem. Y of n is equal to n into x of n. N is equal to 2. Y of 2 is equal to 2 into x of 2. Output present only on the what? Output at the instant 2 present on the what? Input at the instant 2. Therefore, it is causal. Because don't write causality. It's causal. Causality is a property. Now the system is causal. Output does not depends on future value of the input. Okay, right. Third one. Y of t is equal to x of 2t. Okay, right. Put t is equal to 2. Y of 2 is equal to what? X of 4. What is that? I want to find the output at the instant 2. But it is depending upon what? X of 4. X of 2, 4 is future, no? In the scale, when you put a scale from minus infinity to plus infinity, 4 is future to 2. Hence, it is what is that? We can write it as system is what? Non-causal. Non-causal because the non-causal CAU causal because output depends on what? Future value of input. Go for one more. Fourth one. Y of t is equal to y of n is equal to 2 into x of n plus 3. N is equal to 2. Let us say you take any value. N is equal to negative also, all values also you can take it. y of 2 is equal to 2 into x of 2 plus 3. Put n is equal to 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. Output at the instant 2 depends on the output at the input at the instant 5. Therefore, system is what? Non-causal. So, since it is depending upon the what value? 5, future value, output is what? It depends on the output depends on future value of the input. Output depends on future value of the input. Hence, it is non-causal. Okay, right. Go for one more, fifth one. Y of t is equal to x of t by 2. Y of t is equal to x of t by 2. Okay, right. So what is this one? Put t is equal to t is equal to t is equal to 2 minus 2, let us say. Put t is equal to minus 2. Y of minus 2 is equal to x of minus 2 by minus 2 ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ minus 1. Minus 1 is future, no? Sir, why you have taken minus 2 here? Earlier cases you have taken. See, so all values you should check. One value I randomly I have checked it. This one I have taken intentionally. So what is that we have? Y of minus 2. If you take it, y of minus 1, you see, y of minus 2, if you want to find the output at the instant minus 2, minus 1 is future for minus 2. Because if you put the scale 0, 1, minus 1, 2, minus 2. I want to find the output at the minus 2, y of minus 2. But it depends on what? This is y of minus 1 is future. Because this is, if you go this side, no, this is the future, no, this is positive side. So therefore, system is what? Non-causal. Should be very much careful. This is the kind of problems we have seen in the examination. Sixth one. Y of n is equal to n plus 2 into x of n. Put n is equal to 2, let us say, or minus 2. Anything you take it. Y of 2 is equal to 4 into x of n. When I asked this question, a student used to say, sir, it depends on the future. Well, some of the students used to tell that. Sir, it is 4, no, n plus 2 is there, future, no. No. You read the, what is that statement, say carefully. Output does not depends on the future value of the input. It is, this n plus 2 is not input. Don't worry about the n plus 2. Your x of n, you check it out. Is it depends on the future value? Y of 2 is equal to 4 into x of 2. Output depends on present value of the input. This may be some constant, don't worry about it. What about x? That is very, very x of what? X of 2 is there. Therefore, system is causal. Causal because output does not depends on future value of the input. Okay. So you'll have to check for all values. You give 2 or 3 values. I am checking only one value. I'll show you one problem wherein you'll get confused with that. Y of n is equal to x of minus n. One student said that, sir, I'll take n is equal to 0. Y of 0 is equal to x of 0. So therefore, you may say causal. No. You check it. Don't take 0 and all. 0 and all, you'll get many problems. You'll get the same answer, causal only. Don't take it. So what I am saying is, give for different value, negative value, positive values, and half the fraction values also you can check it out. Okay. Let us say n is equal to, I'll take 2. N is equal to 2 is what? Y of 2 is equal to x of minus 2. Minus 2 is past, fine. I'll take n is equal to minus 2. Y of minus 2 is equal to x of n is equal to 4. Okay, right? You can check it out. output at the instant 2, if you want to find x of minus 2 is here. Output at the instant minus 2 depends on what? X of 4. That is future value, no? This is future value. For y of minus 2, it is future value. Therefore, system is non-causal. Even though for these two, it looks like causal. But this one, it is non-causal. Because when I say y of minus, this is minus 2, 4 is here. Therefore, for minus 2, 4 is future. Therefore, system is not. That means you'll have to check for, you'll have to put the some critical values. So not necessarily 2. You check with minus 2 also, or half, something like that, half, minus half, 0. Better to avoid 0. You check some other values. Okay. So that it will be satisfied for all conditions. So non-causal because output does not depends on future value of input. Eighth one, y of t is equal to e to the power of x of t. So what is this? Put n is t is equal to 2. Y of 2 is equal to e to the power of x of 2. No problem. Exponential or logarithm or some other thing. Don't worry about the operation. Or sine of x of t, they say. So still, what is that we have? Output depends on present value. Let is exponential of present, no problem. But still, output y of y, output the instant 2 depends on the input at the instant 2. Therefore, it does not depends on future value. Therefore, it is causal. Because output does not depends on okay, ninth one. Y of n is equal to x of n square. Okay, right. Put n is equal to 2. Y of 2 is equal. At least one value depends on the future. Sir, I'll take minus 2. For minus 2, it's not depending. Don't say that. At least if one value is depending on the future value, that is definitely non-causal. For two values, it is causal, sir. One more value, it is not non-causal. One is sufficient to make it non-causal. So therefore, what is that? Is one sample value I taken n is equal to 2. Therefore, x of 4. Therefore, it is causal, non-causal. Because output depends on future value of the input. Future value of input. Okay, right. Next, y of t is equal to t square into x of t. Put t is equal to 2. Y of 2 is equal to 4 into x of 2. Don't worry about this 4. Sir, t square is there, it may become causal. No. See that? What is that? It's non-causal. No, it's not non-causal because output at the instant 2 depends on the input at the instant 2. Don't worry about this constant 4. Therefore, it is causal. Because output does not depend on future value of the input. So that's what we should understand from this. 11th one. Y of n is equal to x of n plus x of n minus 2 plus x of n plus 3. Oh, correct. N is equal to 2 or 3, 2 you take it. Y of 2 is equal to x of 2 plus x of 0 plus x of 5. So I want the output at the instant 2. What is this one? depends on the present value. X of 2 means present value. It depends on the past value. It also depends on the what? Future value. Future value. Therefore, what is that? Non-causal. It may be depends on present and past. Don't worry about it. But if it is present and the future also, then it is what? And don't check for the past and present. You check for whether it depends on future or not. That only you should take it. And don't tell that it depends on present, it depends on past, it is depending on present and past. Don't write all those things, right? Whether is it depends on future value or not. That is what is important here. Okay, right? Because my statement says that only, right? The statement says that output at any instant does not depends on the future value of the input. Such systems we call as causal systems. If that is the case, then don't check for present or present past, all those things. Whether it is easy, it depends on future value or not. Give different values. One negative value, give positive value. Check it. And if you know it by observation only, you can understand some of the problems. So, non-causal, because output depends on future value of the input. Future value of the input, right? So that is one problem, right? Twelfth one. Y of t is equal to 2 sine of x of t. Okay. Y of t is equal to y of 2 is equal to 2 sine of x of t. Let it be sine, no problem. But it is what? Present x of 2. Because I want to find the output at this instant 2 depends on input at instant 2. Therefore, system is 1 minute. Right? Y of t is equal to 2 sine of x of t, which is a causal system because present value of the output at any instant depends on the present value of the input only. That means output at the instant 2 is depends on the input at the instant 2. Hence it is what? Causal. Okay, right. That is about the causality is concerned. Next is property, fourth property, memoryless system. Memoryless system. It is similar to causal, only one small extra property it should satisfy. That's it. So output at the see memoryless. When you see memory means what? It should not depends on the future. It should not depends on the past. It should depends only on the present value. Such kind of systems we call as memoryless system. Memory means what? Past also we don't know. Future also we don't know. That is memoryless system. So output at any instant depends only on present value of the input. Such kind of systems we call it as memory systems. Okay. All non-causal systems are memory systems. All non-causal systems are memory systems. Okay, right. So therefore, what is that? You can write it. Let's go for check for memoryless. Okay, right. So first one. So what do you mean memoryless system? Output at any instant depends only on the present value of the input. Such kind of systems we call it as memoryless systems. So y of t is equal to 2 into x of t. Depends only on present value. So therefore, memoryless system. Because t is equal to 2, if you take it, y of 2 is equal to 2 into x of 2. Depends on present value. Memoryless system. Memoryless system. Because output does not depends on. Output depends only on, because this definition is based on the depends. The causal definition was depends on, does not depends on future. So with reference to that only you should give the answer. So output depends only on present value of input. Second one, y of t is equal to x of t by 2. So put t is equal to 2. T is equal to y of 2 is equal to what? X of 1. Therefore, memory system. Because output depends on present only. This is depends on what? Past value. But therefore, it is memory system. Because what is that we said? It should not depends on future. It should not depends on the past. It should depends only on the what? Present. But it is depending on the past value. Y of y of minus n is equal to, so y of n is equal to x of minus n. Put n is equal to 2. Y of 2 is equal to x of minus 2. Output at the instant 2 depends on the past value. Still, it's a memory system. Because it depends on what? Past value of the input. Y of t is equal to 2x of t plus 3x of t plus 2. It is depending upon what? Future value. Therefore, it is memory system. Y of n is equal to n minus 2 into x of n. Put n is equal to 2. Y of 2. N is equal to 2 or 3. You take it anything is. Y of 3 is equal to, put n is equal to 3. Y of 3 is equal to 1 into x of 3. Depends on present, memoryless system. Like this, we can check n number of problems. Sixth one. Y of n is equal to summation n varies from 0 to infinity x of n. Y of 2 is equal to what? Y of 2 is equal to, so the k varies from 0 to this x of k, if we take it. Give the value for variation of the k. Y of n is equal to n is equal to 2. Let us say n. Okay, right. So here for n to vary, we are having the some values we have given it. So check with that. So what is that? N varies from k varies from where to where? 0. So x of 0 plus x of 1 plus so on. Therefore, it depends on future value of the input. Hence, it is what? Memory systems. Memory system. Like that, we can check for any number of problems, whether it is a memory system or memoryless system, right? Now let us go for the last one, stability. Fifth property. A system is said to be stable. What do you mean by stable? If you say that stable is nothing but it is not, it will not change. It is having some finite value. You cannot disturb. Let us say rock is stable because it is. If you go for even if you go for as t tends to infinity, also it remains same. That is nothing but stable. If you open your textbook, your Simonic prescribed textbook, is given on diagram. A bridge is collapsed due to earthquake. It shows that it is unstable system. That means it is not working. So a system is stable means even if the time tends to infinity, it should having some finite shape or finite value. Such kind of systems we call as stable systems. Okay. So therefore, a system is said to be stable if it gives finite value, finite output for a finite input, or finite output for finite input as time tends to infinity. It's also known as bounded input, bounded output stability. What is the meaning of bounded? Bounded means finite. That means BIBO stable, we call it BIBO stable. BIBO stable. The meaning of BIBO is bounded input, bounded output stability. That means a system is said to be stable for a bounded input if it produces bounded output. Bounded means finite. That's what you should understand from that. So therefore, for a bounded input, if you are able to get the bounded output, such kind of systems we call it as stable systems. For a bounded input, if you get a infinite output, then we call it an unstable system. For example, take a rubber band. Start pulling. Okay, you are applying certain amount of force. For that, there is a amount of certain displacement. You are keep on pulling that one. So what will happen? A measurable quantity you are going to have. So I will take the rubber band. I'll pull it for certain distance. Okay, certain distance is there. Certain distance it elongates. Further, if you pull it, it will elongate for let us say half meter. If you extend it, what will happen is it will break. Even though your amount of force you are applying is finite, but it will break. It cannot be measured. How much displacement it has taken place. So therefore, this kind of systems we call as unstable systems. Sir, why are you doing all these things for electronic students? You may be asking this question. Please note that an electronics engineer should do a stable system which is capable of working for infinite amount of time. For example, if you have an amplifier, that amplifier should work infinitely. Practically, it is very difficult to have a stable system. Anything which is working is stable. A person is alive is stable. Dead means unstable. An amplifier is working, it is stable. If it is not working, it is unstable. Transistor is working, it is stable. If it is burnt, unstable. Okay, right? So therefore, the meaning of all these things are very, very important. Even you are going to think all these things in the state. And the 3 chapters in the control system is we talks about stability. For a finite output, 3 chapters are there in control system for stability. And the different methods we are going to use, and there we do it only for the continuous time systems. Okay, right? So therefore, stability is a very, very important system for any design engineer or any engineer for that matter. Not necessarily a design engineer. For example, if a civil engineer is designing a bridge, he should be capable. He should design the bridge which can last for many years. That means it should be stable for 100 years, 200 years. It is not possible. But our aim is to make the system to work for a longer time. For example, if you are designing an electronics engineer designing a LED bulb, we expect that LED bulb to be low for 200 years or 500 years, infinite amount of time. We say it may burn in 1 month, doesn't matter. But our aim is to what an electronics engineer should be capable of designing a stable system. That is the reason we are teaching this stability concept in our signals and system. Stability is the ability of the system to work for infinite amount of time, or for a finite input, we are going to get the finite output. One student has asked, sir, if the input is zero, what will you get? See, if you're not giving any input, how can you expect the output? This was the one question from the student. Sir, input is zero, why output is stable or unstable, he is saying. See, if you without giving input, how can you check a system is stable or not? You give some input, then you can tell that whether it's stable or unstable. So this was one of the question from the student what I have seen in the past, right? So therefore, a stability is nothing but it is the ability of the system to work for infinite amount of time. For a finite input, it should be capable of producing the finite output. Such kind of systems we call as stable systems. Okay? Mathematically also, it's also known as Bibo stable. Bounded input, bounded output stable. Mathematically also we can write that one. What is this? So let us write that. If mathematically we can define like that, let magnitude of x of t is less than or equal to mx. Yes? Magnitude of x of t we will call as magnitude. And this we call as magnitude of x of t is finite means what? Anything less than infinity is nothing but finite. So that means for a bounded input, we are saying this one. This is nothing but bounded input. What do you mean by bounded input? Bounded input is nothing but finite input. What do you mean by finite? Anything less than infinity is nothing but finite. Now what I am doing, I am checking it for less than infinity. For less than infinity, if it is finite, input is finite. One student has asked one more question. Sir, if the input is infinity, what will you get? You are violating the definition itself. My definition says that for a finite input, you should get the finite output. If you are giving infinite input, then how can you expect the input itself is infinite? How can you expect a finite output? That is not possible. That means finite is nothing but what do you mean by infinity? One which is not measurable is nothing but infinite, we say. Okay, right. So if you are giving a measurable input, you can get the measure. If you are able to get the measurable output, as I gave the example of the rubber band, you are applying a finite amount of force, still finite amount of force. But after certain instant, it breaks means what? Even though your input is finite, but you cannot measure it because it breaks after that output is broken after the amount of displacement it has taken place, as it is missed. Okay, so therefore it become an unstable system. You agree with that? So therefore, that is about the concept of stability. All the engineering designs of the entire world is nothing. We talk about the stability because it will long last for many years, right? So that's what you should keep it in mind. An engineer should be capable of designing an electronic system or a civil system or mechanical system which is stable for long time. That's why the stability is not only important for electronics and even mechanical also. Let us say if you're designing an automobile system, it should be capable of work for infinite. But practically it is not possible. Our aim should be towards that. That's it. See, sir, if a car is designed, if it is works for 500 years, then who will buy the car? That is also commercial aspect is also there. But still, an electronics engineer, let us say if you are designing a system for system, it should be capable of working at least for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. That means long time, we say. That's what you should understand from this, right? So now, if mathematically, how we say that? If the magnitude of x of t is less than or equal to mx for less than infinity, the meaning of it, magnitude of x of t, we write it as mx, which is less than, if here less than or equal to, you write it. It can magnitude is maybe equal to mx. Less than infinity. Less than infinity means what? So why you are writing less than or equal to? The reason is one of the property of the what is that mod is like this. Magnitude of x plus y is not equal to. It is less than or equal to magnitude of x plus magnitude of y. So therefore, that is the reason. Because of this reason, we write less than or equal to. And here, and less, we don't write equal to. Equal to means infinite input it will become. Therefore, less than infinity means what? It is finite input only. So therefore, what is that? For a finite input, you should get finite output. That means magnitude of y of t less than or equal to my, which is less than infinity. Mx is less than infinity means what? Finite input. My is less than infinity means what? Finite output. For a finite input, if you are able to get finite output, such kind of systems we call it as what? Stable system. Okay. Now we shall go for the checking of the stability as the time tends to infinity. As the time tends to infinity. Okay, right. Now we shall go for the checking of the stability. One by one, we shall check it out. So go check for stability. So this is problem number this 124, 125. Check for stability. Y of n is equal to 4 into x of n. Let us bound the input. So first you make it whether input is finite or not. Let magnitude of x of n, the magnitude of x of n, I'll call it as mx, which is less than infinity. Then magnitude of y of n is equal to what? Take magnitude on both sides. Magnitude of 4 into x of n. Magnitude of y of n is less than or equal to magnitude of 4 into magnitude of x of n. Magnitude of y of n is less than or equal to magnitude 4 is 4. Magnitude of x of n is what? Magnitude of x of n, what did you call? Magnitude of x of n, what do you call? Mx. Mx is what? Less than infinity means finite, no? So this is a finite. 4 is also finite. So therefore, the finite into finite is finite quantity. Definitely this is less than infinity. Therefore, system is stable. Because mx is a finite quantity. Because it is defined that mx is less than infinity. What do you mean by finite? Anything less than infinity is nothing but finite. As time tends to infinity. As time tends to infinity means here we don't have n terms at all or t terms at all. That's why we have taken mx is less than infinity. If t is there, we put t is equal to t or n is equal to infinity. So t is equal to infinity or n is equal to infinity, then we make it infinity. But the term is not there. That's why it is going. It getting as what? Stable. Okay, right. Second one. Y of t is equal to t into x of t. Let us bound the input. Let magnitude of x of t less than or equal to mx, which is less than infinity. Magnitude of y of t is equal to what? Magnitude of t to magnitude of x of t. So magnitude of y of t is t into magnitude of x of t is mx. As t tends to infinity, this will become t tends to infinity means what? Limit as t tends to, if you take t tends to infinity, this will become infinity. Therefore, system is unstable. Unstable. Why I am saying this one? This is infinity into mx is infinity now. Therefore, we will get it as unstable system. Here we don't have t or n. That's why we got the finite value. Third one. Y of t is equal to 2x of t plus 3x of t plus 2 plus 5x of t minus 1. Let us bound the input. Let magnitude of x of t is less than or equal to mx less than infinity. So we bounded the input. So now what is that we have? Magnitude of y of t is what? 2 into magnitude of 2 into x of t plus 3 into x of t plus 2 plus 5 into x of t minus 1. Okay, which is nothing but equal to what? Which is less than or equal to 2 into magnitude of 2 into magnitude of x of t plus 3 into magnitude of 3 into magnitude of x of t plus 2 plus 5 into magnitude of 5 into magnitude of x of t minus 1. It is nothing but equal to what? 2 into mx plus 3 into x of t plus 2 is what? X of t plus 2 is the shifted version of x of t. If x of t is finite, the shifted version has to be finite. Hence, we can say that is finite value. So x of t is finite means x of t plus 2 is also finite. So its magnitude remains same, only time is shifted. Hence, it is also called as mx only. Mx plus 5 into mx. X of t minus 1 is also mx. Therefore, what is that we have? 10 mx we can get it, which is less than infinity. 10 is finite, mx is finite. Therefore, system is stable. Okay, don't try it less than or equal to infinity, then your answer is wrong. Because if it becomes infinite, it becomes unstable. Okay, that's how we should do it. Go for one more problem. Fourth one. Y of t is equal to e to the power of x of t. So this is one of the standard question that we have seen. Let us bound the input. Let magnitude of x of t is less than or equal to mx, which is less than infinity, and magnitude of y of t is equal to magnitude of e to the power of x of t. Magnitude of y of t is less than or equal to e to the power of magnitude of x of t. Now e to the power of e is finite. Only power only we should make it finite. So this is nothing but what? Magnitude of y of t less than or equal to e to the power of mx. E to the power of finite value is finite, no? Therefore, which is less than infinity. Therefore, system is what? Stable. As t tends to infinity, also no problem. Here we don't have t only. Hence, it is finite. Fifth one. Y of t is equal to dx of t divided by dt. Let us bound the input. Let magnitude of x of t is less than or equal to mx, which is less than infinity. Magnitude of y of t is equal to magnitude of dx of t divided by dt. Both sides I have taken the magnitude, which is nothing but equal to what? Magnitude of y of t is less than or equal to d by dt of magnitude of x of t. It is less than or equal to d by dt of mx. Differentiation of a finite quantity is finite, which is less than infinity. Hence, its system is stable. So this kind of things we should be able to do it. Sixth one. Y of n is equal to u of n into x of n. Okay, right. Let us bound the input. Let magnitude of x of n is equal to magnitude of x of n is equal to magnitude of y of n. Let us bound the input. Magnitude of x of n is less than or equal to magnitude of u of n into x of n. So magnitude of y of n is equal to what? Magnitude of y of n is less than or equal to magnitude of u of n into magnitude of x of n. Magnitude of x of n. So which is nothing but equal to magnitude of y of n is less than or what is the magnitude of u of n? It is finite or infinite? Okay. Sir, it is going, many students used to tell that, sir, it is going up to infinity, its value is infinity, hence it is unstable. Sorry. Even though it is like this. Even if you go up to infinity, amplitude is not going to infinity. Hence it is stable. This is magnitude of u of n is always 1. Even if you go up to infinity, its value is 1. As the n is tending to infinity, but amplitude is not tending to infinity. So therefore, what is that we can write it? So this is mx. 1 into mx. Magnitude of x of n is 1 minute. I think it is better. Okay, right. Which is less than infinity. Therefore, system is stable. System is stable. Okay, right. Now it's all right. System is stable. Plus it is fine. So this kind of things we should do. Seventh one. Y of n is equal to summation n varies from k varies from 0 to infinity x of k. It is nothing but equal to what? X of 0 plus x of 1 plus x of 2, so on, right? Okay, right. Let us bound the input. Let magnitude of x of n is less than infinity. And this mx, we call it as mx, less than infinity. Now magnitude of y of n is what? Magnitude of summation n varies from k varies from 0 to infinity x of k. It is nothing but what? Magnitude of x of 0 plus x of 1 plus x of 2, so on. So man, this is nothing but each one is what? It's a finite. X of n is finite means x of 0, x of 1, all those things are finite now. Mx plus mx plus mx plus all of them are, even if you go up to infinity, we have finite value, which is less than infinity. Hence, the system is stable. Like that, we can check for all these things, right? We can okay. Eighth one. Yeah, eighth one. Y of n is equal to summation k varies from 0 to n x of n, x of k. Give the value for this. First, you do it with 5, let us say. What is the meaning of this one? This is x of 0 plus x of 1 plus so on to x of 5. So, therefore, what will happen? Magnitude of, let us bound the input. Let magnitude of x of n is less than or equal to mx, which is less than infinity. So, input is finite. So, therefore, magnitude of y of n is what? Magnitude of x of 0 less than or equal to magnitude of x of 0 plus magnitude of x of 1 plus so on to magnitude of x of 5. Okay. All these things are what? Mx plus so on to mx, which is less than infinity. Therefore, system is stable. Now I'll take up one problem. Y of n is equal to summation k varies from 0 to n x of k. Let us make this. We'll have to go up to infinity. So, what is that we have? Magnitude of x of n. Let us find magnitude of x of n less than or equal to mx less than infinity. Magnitude of y of n is equal to magnitude of k range from 0 to n less than or equal to magnitude of x of k. X of n is finite means x of k is also finite now. Magnitude of y of n is less than or equal to k varies from 0 to n x of k, mx. Mx is constant, no? Magnitude of y of n is less than or equal to mx is constant, finite. K ranges from 0 to n, 1, which is nothing but equal to what? Less than or equal to mx. We have one formula, identity formula, 7 formula I gave it. So out of that, 1 you can use it. Okay. N varies from 0 to a to b. 1 is what? B minus a plus 1. N minus 0 plus 1. B minus a plus 1. A to b, so we can recall that summation a to b 1 is b minus a plus 1. So n plus 1 is there. As n tends to infinity, this will become infinity, this will become infinity, hence system is unstable. So you should be very much careful while doing this kind of problems. Okay, right? So therefore, so this completes problems on the properties. Individually I did it. Now later on what I do is I'll take up examination problems, and from the examination what and all the kinds of problem they ask, all of them I'll be solving in the next class. Okay, stop at this level. Thank you.